It's rare, but sometimes my predictions are correct too. It looks like Emily is indeed planning to get the show cancelled. In fact, she plans on sabotaging the final challenge of the season to get Crystal and literally everyone else fired. For negligence, I suppose, which could potentially make the finale extremely interesting. By meddling with it, Emily would end up putting the contestants' lives in actual danger, raising the stakes of the episode by a whole lot, and I wouldn't mind that at all. Although she said that if everything goes according to plan, then she'll get her life back. But what does that mean? How is the show getting cancelled gonna affect her employment status? I don't know. Nevertheless, Trevor goes up to Nina and asks her to tell him everything she knows about the finale, and the puppet, who somehow outranks him, not only knows all about it, but she also decides to help him out, mostly because she likes the drama. We need so much more of Nina. Can we actually give her something to do next season? She's like the ideal agent of chaos. She could easily spice up any kind of challenge. And especially now that Oliver is making sure that the challenges are as safe as they can be, someone like Nina is very much needed. On an unrelated note, it appears that in season 4 we're gonna have a brand new cast, but also that one of those contestants is gonna be a 51-year-old woman who's into collecting vintage marionette puppets. So I can't help but wonder if she's gonna have a little arc with Nina. Or maybe she could have a fling with Marcus. I wouldn't mind that either. Because Riya's worried about Alec and Connor eventually smoothing things over, she decides to use her otherworldly acting skills to flirt with Alec and even leans in for a kiss, pretending to suddenly and out of nowhere be super into him. But because Alec is not, an idiot, he instantly realizes her true intentions and pushes her away. The poor guy has his hands so full with Riya and Connor that he basically forgot he's in a competition lately. He's so sentimental and basically stopped strategizing at once, which is super weird for his character. He doesn't really have any other friends aside from Fiore, so this kinda humanizes him, but again, this feels so weird for him. In the meantime, we also get an in-world explanation as to why Ali changes so much between seasons. The girl explains that apparently she's had to hold herself back and keep her mouth shut for the past few years, again because of her online reputation. So this means that she already had it in her to be this annoying and awful. She was just very good at hiding it. It's not like this is the first time she mentions acting a certain way just to please her followers, but this is the first time she actually admits evil Ali is the real Ali, whereas her kind and nerdy self was just a facade. This little explanation does make her personality shift way more believable and logical especially, yet just like with Riya, they told this to us a little too late. I would have preferred to learn about this at least 5 episodes ago, and they also could and should have hinted at this being her true nature at least a few times pre-merge as well. For instance, they could have had her blow up for a moment, realize she's not really acting in the most likable way, and immediately force herself to calm down and go back to her fake, kind self. Instead, since the season began, she simply gradually became more and more unhinged and unlikable, and they always made it seem like she acted like this exclusively because she was stressed about her online reputation, and not because deep down she's indeed this aggressive and frustrated. It's challenge time, and the campers are put to the test both physically and mentally, rock climbing first and solving a puzzle later. The winner both gets immunity and a case of beer. So yes, Jake, rewards are getting cheaper and cheaper. Gret explains that she recently realized that she does indeed enjoy working out, but that before this day she only did it for the wrong reasons. She just did it for her looks and not because it actually made her feel great. Her newfound confidence, though, did catch Ali's eye, a close eye that she intends to keep on Gret for the rest of the game. Apparently, Riya and Alec were way too busy with Connor to even notice, but Ali, for the first time in forever, was actually paying attention. I was actually pretty glad to see her have her head into the game. Seeing her bicker with her little brother all the time is a bit of a waste of her potential. In the most anticlimactic game ever, Gret wins immunity and also the case of beer, which she decides to give Connor to buy him off. I don't know why there was also ice cream there. That wasn't part of the reward, was it? Beer and ice cream? Ugh. Now, honestly, it seemed a bit ridiculous to me how the campers were panicking and sweating profusely while solving this 12-piece puzzle. I understand that immunity and $3 million are on the line, so I get why the campers would feel so anxious. With all that tension, it's really hard to think straight, no matter how many pieces there are, yet I don't see why they couldn't have made the puzzle a little bit more complex than this. It is just 12 pieces, it doesn't look that hard to solve, at least for the audience, and you'd think someone as smart as Alec would figure this out in no time. I suppose if the puzzle had had like 50 pieces, then it would have been way harder to animate, so fair enough. But like, they could have gone with 25 though? Maybe 20? Either way, number of pieces aside, this puzzle portion wasn't that exciting to watch to begin with. Crystal's commentary was not enough to make things entertaining. I do like the concept, but the execution felt a little weak. They could have made it all more tense had they had Derek or Nina distract them with loud noises or something so that they would lose their focus, or perhaps they could have had them throw stuff at them with a slingshot, maybe fruit as a reference to episode 11 of season 2, but having them just stand there and solve their puzzles, it was pretty anticlimactic. Before the ceremony, Alec and Connor meet on the dock, again, and talk about women. Again, basically, Alex suggests Connor should not give up on trying to change Riya, which he wasn't planning on doing anytime soon anyway, whereas Connor promises he will help out Alec find another woman after the show is over. I actually love how he tells him that there's plenty of fish in the sea, he can totally find another woman, Cheryl, he can forget about her, she's in the past, he can move on, yet Connor himself is still laser focused on changing Riya and still wants to be with her. In Connor's defense, I realized that I've been a little bit too quick to say that he should just give up on her, because after all, this is just day 27 of Riya being an asshole. So even though it felt like forever to us, I guess the 21 episode format kinda skews our perception of time. Technically, not even a single month has passed in universe. So it does make sense for Connor to not give up on her yet. Had it been 8 months, like it has been for us in real life, then sure, she would have been a lost cause. Although, even though I understand Connor's view, it seems rather hard to redeem a character who just doesn't seem to regret a single thing she's done, and who loves her new evil lifestyle more than anything, especially when the finale is literally 3 episodes away, 2 if you don't count the motel episode. I'm not saying she would be impossible to redeem, but it just feels a little late from the viewer's perspective, just because she's been awful for at least 80% of the season at this point, so any kind of redemption now would just feel so extremely sudden. Not unreasonable or impossible, but it probably would have been better had they dedicated just a few more episodes to it. Although the way Riya felt super dumb after jumping in the water to retrieve Connor's perfume, that was a good start at least. It's the first time in a while she showed actual human feelings and emotions, so I didn't mind that scene at all. At the elimination ceremony, Gretz has Connor and Jake pay back that totem favor by asking them to vote for Alec tonight and having them use the totem to protect Jake. Everything goes according to Gretz's plan, so the 4 Jake votes are nullified, meaning the votes Connor and Jake cast are more than enough to eliminate Alec. I so expected the guy to at least make it to the final 3, so this was such a huge shock to me. I'm pretty glad Alec was his own character this season, unlike his season 1 self, who was basically just an extension of Fiore, although I feel like he didn't really give his all this season. He did form the Villains Alliance and even won individual immunity twice, but strategically speaking, I expected more from him, especially after he said that he went back and rewatched season 1 to learn from his mistakes. He ended up relying on the Alliance way too much, and after the merge, he kinda even stopped trying to even keep it together. But what's worse is that, once again, he put all his eggs in one basket without even having a plan B, the same thing he did with Fiore. He had his cool alliance, but he didn't think of having other allies outside of it. He kinda tried with Connor, but he only seemed to care about his friendship and not about his allegiance to him. And that just felt a little odd for his character. At the very least, I'm pretty glad he got to stay up to this episode because he's one of those characters you rarely get tired of. Now that Alec's gone, Gretz got to the final 5 alone with the 2 temperamental duos as she calls them, and that was such a brilliant move. Not to mention, Alec wouldn't have been the easiest adversary to face in the finale either. I just love how Gret has been playing both sides to make sure she will come out on top no matter what. Although it seems like Ali is catching on to her plan. I really doubt the heroes and the villains will work together to get out Gret, especially as long as Connor and Riya will keep fighting, but this still scares me a bit anyway. She just needs to win. I don't accept any other winner that isn't Gret. It also seems Jake doesn't quite trust Gret either, and he's sure that she will eventually screw him and Connor over. But like, congrats Sherlock. She's not your friend, she never said she was. If she's working with you right now, it's obviously because it will benefit her, not because she cares about you or anything. Why else would Gret even help him and Connor? Because she has their best interest at heart? Because he likes them? How is he so naive? But anyway, with that being said, I thank you all so much for watching. As always, let me know your thoughts on both the episode and on Alec, and also let me know your predictions for the final 3 as well. And that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys next time. Ciao!